We're back to Global Business Report. The Nigerian government has reaffirmed its commitment to diversify the economy by using the potential of the solid mineral industry to increase revenue. Mr. Adele Alake, through the ministry's head of press and public relations, Alaba Balogun, stated that the federal government is implementing initiatives to clean up the mining industry, revamp the regulatory landscape, and improve the investment climate for both domestic and foreign companies. Joining me now to discuss this further is Lola Oladunjoye, the founder of Paris-based fine jewelry brand Lola Feinhurst, which recently showcased its acclaimed collection at Sotheby's Dubai private selling exhibition. She joins us now from our London studios. Great to see you bright and early Wednesday morning, madam.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very pleased to be here.
Yes, thank you so much. This is your industry. What you're doing in the jewelry sector goes all the way down to the mineral resources as the primary product of what you put out there. So how best do you think the Nigerian government can revive, promote, and make the mineral resources sector more sustainable, more investment friendly? What are your thoughts?
That's a very loaded question, but it's a really important one. And I, for one, am very encouraged, being truthful, I'm very encouraged by the appointment of this new minister. I think that if we are able to get our extractive mining in a state that it needs to be, with the right sustainability focus and the right, you just need the right TMC. TMC is Transnational Mining Company, to come in and really explore the minerals, because I do believe that our mineral table is probably one of the richest, completely unexploited, undeveloped. So I think that the potential is enormous, and also the challenges is a big one. But I think that now would be the perfect time to get that in order.
That'll be really interesting. We appreciate that Cotton raised a comment. But again, let's get on to your business, what you do, by the way. How do you source those precious stones that you use? Are there plans to get the basic resources from Nigeria, for example?
Well, I would like nothing more than to be able to source the precious stones and the metal that I use in my home country. Unfortunately, the framework isn't there for that to happen at the moment. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that becoming a viable possibility. For now, I'm focusing. I get most of my minerals and stones and metals from Southern Africa, which is a little bit of, it gives me a certain, it's a regret that it's not happening in West Africa, which is why I really would like to see that transformation take place. Wherever you have really effective extractive mining, an economic game changer. That's what's happened in Botswana. That's what's happened in Namibia and South Africa. And I go there often. I'll be there next month. I'll be there for a natural diamond summit. And it would be really wonderful to see Nigerian ministers, Nigerian executives in the room, because the deals are made in the room.
Very interesting about sourcing materials, but is it profitable to set up a shop in Nigeria with those diamonds? Get them here? Would you be able to process them in Nigeria instead of taking the raw materials out and then walk them elsewhere into finished products, those nice, beautiful, but very expensive jewelries that arts that you produce?
Well, setting up a workshop in Nigeria, that's the tail end of the process. Everything has to start with extraction, and then once you do that and you have a really good sustainable ecosystem around it, you have cutting, polishing, sorting. All of that can be done in place. That shouldn't be done outside of the country. We could take it all the way through to having actual retail in the country too, because as we know, we are rampant, we are deeply enthusiastic luxury consumers. It would be a very good thing to see us be able to play at every step of the ecosystem. That's what's happening in Botswana. That's what's happening in Namibia and South Africa. I would love to see us mirror that strategy. It's not just the extractive mining. Once you've taken the stones out of the ground, you can do everything in country. You can do polishing, extracting, sorting, aggregating, This is what I've been able to experience by my travels to Southern Africa, and it's what, again, I would like to see happen in West Africa, because we do have, we have what it takes, we have the resources. It's just a question now of harnessing and mining, to coin a phrase, those resources to our benefit.
Yes. So let's chat a little bit to your exhibition at the Sotheby's event in Dubai. Tell me.
It was really wonderful. I think Dubai is it's a good example of what can happen in terms of economic transformation. It's not something. So what I did is I had a new collection, and I wanted to exhibit it and launch it in a place that was very global. And when I looked around, I found that Dubai would be the place to do that. And then Sotheby's is a long-standing British auction art house that I've worked with in the past. So it was a collaboration between myself and Sotheby's, and we chose to do the exhibition in their Dubai gallery. And it was wonderful, it was glittering, it was well attended. There were lots of Nigerian buyers and collectors there, and other people from across the African continent, as well as lots of Emiratis and people from the Middle East. And it was just a glittering night and a success, and I'm very pleased that it happened.
Yes, you're a formerly practicing lawyer in the United States. What's the inspiration to go into jewelry branding?
Well, I think that I've always had a part of my personality that was purely a creative and being an artist. But as we all know, I'm a Nigerian child. I'm a Yoruba girl, for that matter, and it was always part of my family. Sort of what we do in my family is we're a family of lawyers, and so I honoured what my parents wanted me to do. But then after a while, I think you can only be someone else for so long. And so it wasn't a question of being someone else, but it was a question of I have another side to my personality that I want to explore, and I think I have other gifts that I think I owe it to myself to explore. So I went on a journey of moving away from the practice of law in 2015 to starting my own fine jewelry company, and I'm very glad I have the courage to see that through, because I'm very pleased with where I am today.
You've worked with some of the Yoruba extraction. I'm sure that must have influenced part of what the work of art and your designs as well. But you've worked with a few, with some global names such as Halle Berry, Angela Bassett, and others. What does it look like? What is it like working with them? With these celebrity big names?
It's wonderful. No, it's really wonderful. It's nice to see my work. I consider myself an artist, and so I like to see my work shown on other artists, and artists who are reflective, have things in common with me. So when I see my work on an Angela Bassett, on a Michaela Cole, on a Halle Berry, that makes me feel good, because it's really sort of it's one African artist working with another, maybe African or African diaspora artist, and I think it's a really good way for me to expose my work. So I'm very pleased. I enjoy having that type of exposure.
Lola, Oladunjoye, thank you so much for your time here on Arise Global Business Report, and keep the flag flying for Nigeria. Will you?
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. It's great having you out of our studios in London.